Welcome to another episode of EDC with me, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about this guy here, showing you on my belt. This is my new old camp knife. So recently I've been looking more and more into bushcraft, and an old knife of mine I realized kind of fits that description. So you can see I've got a ferrocerium rod on here. I've got some tinder in here. There's a little pouch that it comes with. And then I've also got a stone for sharpening out in the field. And then down on the bottom here I've got a bunch of paracord. There's a ferrocerium rod again. And we'll pull out the old knife here. So here it is. It is the Smith & Wesson Homeland Security. And like I said, I've had this 10 or more years. Here's the designer. Not familiar with this particular designer. But the reason why I like this knife so much, there's a few reasons. One, it's quite the chopper, so if you need to process logs for firewood, that should be no problem. The thickness on here, I don't know if we're capturing this, but this thing's pretty beefy. You can see it here next to my thumb. It's got a coating on it. I've done quite a bit of digging. I used to use this as a shovel, just to give you another idea on the size. Used to use it as a shovel with metal detecting. Worked quite well for that. But yeah, processing wood. It's got jimping on the back here. It's not really a saw, it's just some type of jimping. But what it does do well is if you're pataning a log, it gives that log something to grip. So when you're pataning down on a log, you're hitting that texture there, so should help, not hurt, I'm sure. The other thing too we've got going on is you've got lashing points. So if you were to take off these G10 handle scales, you could actually lash this to a pole if you needed to make a makeshift spear, I guess, out in the wilderness. The other thing I really like about it is this ramp here. I guess it's maybe a thumb ramp. Got to kind of go up and over to get to it. But this thumb ramp, even though there's a coating on here, the degree, this 90-degree angle is so good that it strikes a ferrocerium rod real well. So that's great. You can start fire with it. You've got that big, long, bladed edge. Tanto type point, which I really appreciate. It gives you a lot of forward piercing. So if it's for digging, that works great for digging. If there's a self-defense situation, it could be utilized for that as well. I'm sure it's a 420 or 440 steel. Not the hardest, but you shouldn't worry about it cracking. You'll just mar or dull the blade, and it's easy enough to tune up with a simple stone while out in the field. So yeah, guys, kind of fell back in love with this, and really like the applications it provides. There's a choil here too, so you can choke up for some finer work since it is such a large blade. And I just wanted to give you guys that quick insight. I'm not sure if you can still find these. It was probably a $40 to $60 knife when I purchased it originally. But if you can, and you're in need of a bigger bushcraft camp type knife, I think this guy will definitely do the job for you. Thanks for watching.